Hi, I'm Pavo Stubstad with Pure Hyzer Productions. With me today, I've got none other than Nikko Locastro himself, and we're going to give you coverage of the final round of the Rain or Shine Pro-Am held in Auburn, California on January 31st, 2015. It's just a one-day, two-round C-tier event, and I'm going to let Nikko tell me about the layout on the first round and how everybody did there at Auburn.
It's a fun course to play. Kept it interesting. The layout. There's some shots with some scoring differences. You could take a 2 or a 5 on some of those shots out there. So it's a good competition that day, and I definitely enjoyed competing with some good players.
That's right. There's some OB that comes into play on a few holes in the course. There's some water, and actually there are paths at this park. But for this tournament, the paths were not played as OB. They were safe. So for the second and final round of this tournament, on the lead card we've got Nikko Locastro and Drew Gibson tied for first with 10 down. We've got Owen and Ray Johnson not too far behind them, and Josh Noxon on the lead card as well. So without further ado, let's get to the coverage.
Let's do it.
So here we go, the Rain or Shine Pro-Am, final round, lead card. Players we're going to be following today, we have in first place Nikko Locastro from Grass Valley with a rating of 1,034.
Drew Gibson tied with me in first place from Fair Oaks, California, rating 1008.
Then in third place we've got Ray Johnson with a 9 down. He's from Grass Valley, rating 1,006.
Local hero Owen, fourth place, 8 under, Auburn, California.
We got Josh Noxon in fifth with 6 down from Grass Valley, rating a 957. Josh played a solid round above his rating the
Those
first
guys
round.
are both better
to
than
get
their
on the lead
ratings,
card.
though.
Yeah.
You put them on one of these local courses and they can score.
Yep.
Every time.
Starting off on hole 1 here, 395 feet. Pretty much straight ahead, down below the crest of the hill in the distance there.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't remember feeling nervous here, but I know that I set myself up for a tough upshot. A little windy.
A little windy out there. There was some headwind. That really flipped it right.
Tornadic wind.
There was some kind of a tornado going on out there. Drew Gibson's up next.
Looked like a good shot from the beginning, and wind just pulled it hard to the right.
Yeah, he threw that nice and high. It looked like he was going to get some good S-curve out of it, even with the wind, and it was just pushed right more than he thought it would also. Windy out there.
I remember this shot. Ray just throws a perfect line. I couldn't have dreamed it any better. Right down the middle, Hyzer flip, and the wind just glides it straight ahead.
Settles nicely at the end, slides down the hill towards the basket.
Ian puts a good line on it, from what I remember.
He does, yeah, with the flick route, too. Ian's got some solid sidearm throws.
Down the line, with a good look at two.
And that was going at the basket. He might even be a little deep, I think. And Josh Noxon.
He takes a new approach. More direct. Wind gets a hold of it, like the others.
Yep, just held it to the right, even though he took a more left line there. Here's Drew's upshot.
These upshots appear easy from this angle, but there's a little hillside there, and
yeah, it's a tough pin placement for this one.
Play.
Your second throw from the path, which is safe at this tournament. Josh throws a nice up there. And Ray with a birdie look.
I'd say he's about 50 feet.
Ooh. Gives it a good run, just goes barely to the right of the chains and rolls down into that little ditch. There can be some footing problems down there.
Ian's such a good straight line putter. He always puts it on a good line.
And
played
that was
with it the last couple tournaments, and he could play. Looks like I rushed that one a little bit. Just wanted to get the hole over with.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a close putt, but standing down there in that ditch with all the uneven rocks and one leg up on the grass behind you. I've been down there. It's an awkward stance. And Ray's down there, too.
It's awkward footing there.
It is.
Standing on some rocks.
they're loose too, you know, they're not just rocks, they move around.
No excuses, though. We were both less than 25 feet.
It's
I
true.
would expect us to tap that one in. Three's looking good on that hole.
I guess it is compared to this card, yeah. Not the start you'd expect to see on the open lead card, 3 pars and 2 bogeys. And Drew's got the lead by 1 now.
Sometimes it happens like that. You just got to shake off those early morning nerves and get over the first couple holes without creating errors and just breeze on through.
Absolutely, just take a breath and face the hole in front of you. Hole 2, only 235 feet. Everybody here is going to throw a spike hyzer up and over the trees, try to cut in by the basket. And Drew was ready to go there, and someone yelled 4 from the first hole and razzed him a little. He's ready to go anyway.
Drew puts it on a good line. I think he'll be less than 15 feet.
Yeah, it was a good drive. Couldn't see it come down there.
Notice that's Ian's go-to disc there, the drone. He usually throws that on any line around the course.
It's nice to get one disc dialed in to the point where you can throw it for a bunch of different types of shots. You just know how it's going to behave. Different types of releases.
Absolutely.
And we couldn't see Josh's there, but he came down to the right, probably about 50 or 60 feet.
Played this one a little aggressive on the long side of the basket. I think I'm just about 28 feet past.
About that, yeah. Circle's edge down at the bottom of the little hill there.
Ray's another smooth NorCal player. I've got to see him throw over the last year and a half since I've been hanging out around Grass Valley, and he just always has that smooth character to his form.
There's Josh off in some trees to the right of the basket. Gave it a bid, and he's there for a 3. And you can the birdie.
I remember I really wanted to make that one after sacrificing a stroke on the first hole. Get back to even.
Exactly.
Thought I'd be 2 under after the first 2, but got to grind through it
That's
sometimes.
how you take a breath and get right back to the game. Birdie the next hole. Solid putt from Ian there.
Never a doubt for me, and he just always stares it right down the middle and fires away.
Solid spin putt.
Drew's also a really great upcoming NorCal talent from the younger age bracket. He's got all the shots it takes to be a great champion.
Ray with the CTP drive there. Got the tap-in birdie. And Josh taps in his par. So 4 birdies on hole 2 and 1 par.
Down by 1 after 2.
Drew still got that lead by 1 stroke. Hole 3's in the deep pin, 210 feet, pretty straight shot uphill from the tee pad.
I really like this kind of golf. Just hyzer flip to flat and just hit your line and get a look at birdie.
Pretty open off the tee, pretty protected up by the pin. It's a fun shot.
Drew put that one on a good line, just catches a bad kick to the right. Plays that one on the right gap. He'll have a look at birdie.
Might have gone a little deep, but he got up there.
Straight down the middle.
There
Felt
you
really
go.
good about that one.
That didn't quite flip as flat as Ray would have wanted, I think, but he's still got a look from out there, just on the left. Maybe circle's edge.
A really good line right at the basket.
Yeah, that was
Easy look for
perfect.
birdie.
Yeah, he kind of just followed your line there. That's the way to get there. Drew from a knee, running
Almost
the birdie.
made it.
Yep, no fear. And yeah, Ian ended up a little deep. Here's his birdie look.
A little aggressive.
Downhill putt, and he's still committed to it.
He was going
Just
for
went
it,
a little
though.
wide.
It's nice to see him make the next one.
And that's a good par save right there. When you miss a birdie, you're still out and you're still up. Just step up and make the par like that.
Good job, bro. Hit that tree backed up.
He's like, don't talk about it.
Solid.
Notice Drew switched up his putt over the winter, and now he's got more of a push putt style. I've seen him do both, so he could hit the angles when it needs to be done.
Yeah.
I like these kind of putts. My
There you
favorite.
go. When you're walking up the fairway, you see your disc under the basket, you just take a
It's
deep
a big
breath.
relief every time. Like, all right, didn't kick, hit a root. Probably make this one.
And you move up, tied for the lead with Drew now.
This is a challenging hole. There's a couple different routes. I noticed the locals like to take this cut roller. I wish I would have practiced that.
This is one of the tougher holes at Auburn for sure.
I parked it once with a sidearm down the middle, and I really thought that was the shot. I thought this was going to give me a putt, and then something crazy happens.
Yep.
It's disc off.
I mean, if there wasn't that lip on the path right there, that would have probably skipped over to the right toward the basket, and instead it popped
Game
it up,
of many angles.
turned it into a roller that rolled off to the left.
I've said that no other sports can match the angles that disc golf has. We line the shot up so many different ways, and there's so much different terrain on all these courses around the world that, you know, no one shot's really the same.
Absolutely. The shots are all different. The terrain is so unique from one course to the next. Wide roller, stands up at the path.
After watching him throw that shot, it made me want to go out there and practice it a few times.
Drew clipped a branch there, kept going for quite a long time, and ended up a ways down the fairway down on the left. He'll have an open up shot, I think.
Ian goes with the local roller line. He's got a really flippy disc, as you can see. Started that one off flat, let it turn up, and I think
It just
he's gonna
rolled
really like that one. It was
right up
close.
next to the pin. It was out of frame on the right for most of it, unfortunately, but you could see it roll up to the pin at the end.
Drew's got a long jump putt. I see him throw a lot of up shots with that long putting stroke, and I don't want to be close. I had a line at it. It was a low ceiling. I gave it a somewhat of a run.
Somewhat of a run, and you're there for a par. And this is one of the tougher holes at Auburn. It's not too bad to take a par on this one. And Josh was
Noxon's
trapped out there by the 8th tee pad.
Tough spot over there.
Yeah.
The right side of the fairway.
Ooh, Ray gave that a chance. He's there for a 3. Here's Josh to save his par. Just off one of the little nubs on top of the basket. Inch too high. And you'll notice everyone's tapping in their pars or bogeys here. Drew's tapping in his par, and here's Ian tapping in for a birdie.
That's the kind of shot you want.
That is where that roller ended up. One of the most picturesque holes at Auburn here, hole 4, when it's in that placement anyway.
It's got some rugged terrain. Catch some nice picture opportunities.
Yeah. Hole 5 is an interesting one. There's a Mando right in front of the tee pad, that V-shaped tree you see there. You got to throw to the left of it, and the basket is deep right, pretty much forcing a roller line here.
Ian really rips that one on a good line. Burns it to the right. Have a long look for birdie.
Yeah, I think so.
I threw a 159 gram roller on this particular hole. Thought I threw it good enough to get a putt. Catches a couple bounces.
It really just clipped the base of that one tree. If it wasn't for that, I think
It was on its way right.
It was on a good line.
I'd say he's got one of the best rollers in the game.
Stands it up early and just clips those trees. It was on a decent path too.
It's a heavily guarded hole.
It is.
Drew's got a lot of power. This is an easy distance shot for him. He could reach that with any disc in his bag.
And he got it out there. I think he might have a look.
Looked like Josh put it on the best line out of all of us.
He put it on a great line, and then I kind of just lost track of it. I thought I was zoomed into the right spot and couldn't see it, but you'll see he ended up real nice.
Easy upshot and a great look at deuce.
That was at least 120 feet out, and he hit top of the basket with that. Getting it up there for a par.
I might have laughed at that one.
A little bit.
Wanted to get it chain high. Got to give it a chance.
And Drew had a long look there. Ooh.
Wanted to go in.
Ian from a knee, off the branch and off the top of the cage.
Birdie?
Yep, and that's a birdie
It's a great
from
birdie.
Josh. I'm disappointed that I lost his drive, but
Wasn't too bad.
good
You see
drive
where it went.
nonetheless.
Drew's got an easy tap in for par. And I just imagined that I deuced it and I'm on to the next one.
Yeah, that's the
Try to
mentality
forget
you
about
gotta
it.
have. Yeah, shot for shot. 4 pars and a birdie from Josh
Tied
there.
up at 11 under.
Yep. And Ian and Ray just a stroke behind you and Drew. It's a close match. Hole 6, the shortest hole at Auburn, just 185 feet.
I like this hole. It's a technical shot, a couple different options.
There's the flick line. And he hit something on that skip. It was going to be decent, I think. You can see the basket down there to the right. And Nikko's going to try the same flick line here.
Thought I'd get a look at it. I think I'd catch a rock on the way back towards the basket. I pulled a little
Yeah.
left, though. I could have hugged it tighter
You
around
caught
the trees.
something just a little past where Josh caught something there on the left.
There's a down the middle shot with a putter. It's another option.
And Ian throws a much tighter Hyzer flick line there that I thought was interesting.
That's what you want, though, on this
Yeah.
hole.
And there's Ray taking the putter
Ray
line.
takes the NorCal line. Down the middle, almost. Jumped in the basket.
Kicked off of that tree right in front of it, it looked like. Drew's taking the backhand line too. And gets a bad kick off to the right.
I don't think he was real happy with that look
No.
at birdie.
Slipped out of his hand a little
He
funny
probably
or
thought
something.
he should have been closer off the tee. That pretty much happens.
It happens sometimes. You're still there, running that putt. That looked like a dangerous one to run. Drew,
I just didn't commit to it, and
Yeah.
he's seen the opportunity.
he saw
Take
it.
advantage of it.
There was a lot of confidence in that putt from Drew right there.
It looked easy. After watching somebody whiff like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. These
Right.
guys smelled blood.
All started making their putts. And Ian with his interesting Hyzer line, Spike Hyzer, with a flick, 185 feet, got there. And you and Josh tap in your pars.
It's a fun course. You get to throw the disc on a lot of different angles. And all the holes are pretty fair.
Yeah, they are, and there's good shot variety at Auburn. There's some technical ones. We'll see some more open ones later. A couple more technical ones down the stretch again. Some nice variety. Hole 7 in the A-pins, 285 feet. It's another Spike Hyzer into the trees.
Ian through the direct line. Around the outside. It's the preferred route, I believe, there. About the only route.
Yeah, and he's up there for a birdie look.
Oh, off the side of the basket.
That's what it looked like, huh?
It was.
You
I heard it.
rock right there?
And you can hear
He got some
Nikko.
metal with that one.
Yeah, you can hear Nikko in the video there saying he hit the basket. Unfortunately, I couldn't see it.
I think everybody threw pretty good drives on this hole.
Pretty decent, yeah. It's all about what happens when you get to the trees at the end of the shot.
I aced this hole my first time out at Auburn in a glow-in-the-dark tournament.
Nice. The same placement here?
I think it was over
Yeah.
to the left.
And that came down right behind it. It was close. Just couldn't see it. And Ian somehow ended up way right.
I think he might have rolled down.
Yeah, because his drive looked a lot better than that. Ray for birdie. Off the top of the
It
basket.
could have been distracted with the noise in the background.
Yeah.
Kids yelling.
That's the one thing about Auburn is, you know, the shots are great, the course is great, but it's in a public park that's pretty busy compared to the average park that has a disc golf course, so there can be some distractions.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've actually seen a couple young kids out there playing disc golf, though, so that's good to see.
It is, yeah, it's a great thing they're doing there, and it is a great course. Ian, always confident on the comeback putt.
A lot of these NorCal guys are really good putters. I've noticed that. There's a lot of talent starting to rise in the NorCal region.
So a couple birdies at the top. Drew's still got the lead by a stroke. And Josh with the birdie catching up a little bit too.
Still a close match. Everybody's got a chance at this point.
Hole 8, 340 feet, uphill, probably plays close to 380. Drew throws a
I think he got that one a little lower than he wanted to. If he would have landed another 50 feet in front of that, he might have caught a skip, but
Yeah.
that's thick grass.
And before that drive, Drew was actually razzed a few times by people walking across the path. He had to abort his drive routine and reset before finally getting to throw. He might have rushed it a little, and Josh went left there.
Yeah, there's a couple spots out there at Auburn that it's kind of almost uncomfortable to throw over those paths time and time again.
This is probably the worst one right here. You can see that walking path there to the left is blind.
I remember I threw a Legacy Rival on that one. I thought I put it on the direct line.
That was a beautiful
Cut
shot.
left.
It really was on the right line. It just hit that tree at the end and kicked a little. But you've still got a
It
birdie
was still
look.
right
for-
there.
Got
It's
a birdie
closer
look.
than I thought.
You got a birdie look.
I wanted to park it though.
Ian goes for the only roller on this hole,
I watched him do this the other round before.
and it's out of sight there.
It makes it look so easy.
But it did curl right, and he gave himself a look. Ray with the turnover didn't get it to hold. Faded out. It's going to be about 80, 90 feet left. That's an interesting upshot technique there that Drew had, kind of walking up to his lie and just continuing his walk into a putt.
Yeah, definitely. Not a lot of people use that, but it's been effective for him, so.
Ray puts it there for a par. And here's where you ended up. Boom.
Connected for birdie.
Through the V in those trees, too, right there. That was a solid putt. And Ian's roller got all the way to there. It's a great birdie from Ian. Josh hits.
Caught some chains.
Yeah, a little high, strong side there, but
That's all you need
right
sometimes. One or two chains.
Yep.
Keep it in the basket. And the soft music begins. Set the mood for the next hole. Birdie par, birdie par par.
And that brought you back into a tie with
13
Drew.
under. Still a match. Who wants it?
And hole 9 here, set deep. The C pin, it's 420 feet, and you can see there's water right behind the basket there.
There's a few different options on this hole. If you got a long sidearm, I'd say that's the play. I like throwing rollers whenever I got the opportunity. I ripped this one hard. You caught a good angle on that one. Lucky I skipped over those rocks.
You hit those rocks there, and the basket's way off right, but we'll see when we get down there where you ended up. I think we were both surprised.
Me and Drew were talking about where I ended up. I didn't even see that I hit the rocks. I felt like I parked the hole, so I was telling him, I hope I'm parked.
And that was a great shot there, too.
There's another one down by the hole.
Yep. And Drew is going for the flick. Line drive down the middle there. And skips really hard right. It's kind of a strange skip how quickly it's shot off to the right there, but he should still have a long look at birdie. Josh with the sidearm line
Josh
as
is
well.
another NorCal guy that has a lot of shots in his bag. You can throw rollers, sidearm, make long putts. I've seen him do just about everything out there.
And he hit the tree on the left. It looked like it stuck, but it did fall out. And that was a nice turnover shot, just settled by the pin.
I guess it's going to go in or it's going to go in the water.
Drew, long look at a birdie here.
Didn't I call it?
And he misses and goes OB. You know, I was surprised that he tried to run that.
He called it before. He said he's either going to make it or go out of bounds.
Yeah,
so
he committed to
he's
going for it.
Ian connects for birdie.
That was a solid putt from up in there. He had some branches in his way. You could see the disc even clipped something, I think.
He doesn't take much time. You can tell he's been playing for a long time.
Good birdie from Ray. And a good birdie from you. And I'm impressed that your drive ended up there after clipping those rocks. If you see,
the rocks might have helped it.
Yeah.
I really put some steam on that roller.
Yeah, you could kind of see when it hit, it changed angles in the air, and maybe it made it roll harder to the right than it otherwise would have.
Play the obstacles.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
All part of the plan.
It's all part of the plan. Take a little love when it comes.
3 birdies there. Nikko's got the lead by a stroke now with Ian 1 stroke behind him.
1 up, going into hole number 10.
This is one of the more straightforward holes at Auburn. 280, slightly uphill, pretty open.
Just playing a flat shot and just let it run out of spin and fall left. Pulled a little left, ended up closer than I thought.
Yeah, in the circle.
Played the path safe. I'm surprised.
I'm surprised by that too.
Ian with his go-to disc, drone.
With a good skip, that should be there. Just to the right a little bit. And that faded out on Ray a little bit, but he might still have a look from out there. A little more snap, that could have held for a little longer.
Noxon. There's a hard hyzer at it. Ends up a little more left than he would like.
He was probably hoping that would have flipped flat.
True, doesn't take much time.
Yeah.
There's a Firebird, I believe. That one also skips a little left.
Yeah, it looked like he might have rushed that drive a little, maybe still a little frustrated going OB on the last hole. And gave his birdie a chance, and he's there for a 3. Here's Josh from about 35, 40 maybe.
Yeah, looks about 40.
And cans it. That's a great putt
Finds
from
change
Josh.
for birdie. That's a relief after ending up that far away and still getting your deuce.
Yep. Ray leaves his birdie a little short. And here's Ian, who actually ended up skipping past the basket. Just
Sounded like a lot of chains, but didn't catch the right ones.
It was strong side. It just kissed off of him.
I take a lot of time on this particular putt. I thought this was a crucial time in the round where I really needed to gain another stroke and get some cushion.
Keep that momentum going, too. And a couple of tap-ins, and we've got, I think, only 2 birdies on that hole. Nikko and Josh.
That's one you kind of want to get.
Yeah.
I'm surprised everybody ended up that far away. Nobody parked it.
Yeah. Hole 11, where it's at now in the A-pin, 270 feet, is probably the easiest hole at Auburn. Wide open, slightly downhill.
Yeah, this is a simple hole. You could throw a straight putter or take the sidearm approach. I like to just throw a straight wizard, put a little turn on it.
Put it right there, 5 feet away. And Josh is trying the flick approach.
Yeah, takes the sidearm. Should end up close.
And that's the danger with the sidearm
Gotta
approach.
skip, but still inside the circle.
Yeah.
A lot of commotion going on behind us at the time.
There is, and that's,
Sounds
that's
like a heated game.
tennis courts right behind this tee pad. That's Auburn for you. A great sidearm from Ian. Rolls
I
away a
thought that
little.
a lot of the tennis players could end up switching over to disc golf pretty easily with the backhand sidearm combination.
Yeah.
Got to put a disc in their hand. They're ready. Crossover sport. Noticed that a lot of people that play other sports end up switching to disc golf after high school and college.
Yeah.
When they're done with the team sports, they find disc golf.
And whatever else they did impacts the type of throws they're good at in disc golf. Drew from about 40.
Drew hit a really nice putt on that. He had a confident putting stroke, and he puts it right in the heart of the basket. He was a little frustrated. He was that far away and decided that he's getting his deuce no matter what. Oh, he might have got razzed by the comments there.
Yeah, another potential
Got in
razz.
his head a
just
little bit.
Pedestrians in the park.
Might want to play Auburn with headphones.
Yeah, it's good advice.
Noxon connects for his birdie. Ray. Easy birdie.
Easy birdie for Ray. And here you are with your CTP drive. Snuck it in there.
Snuck it in there. I didn't even want to look at the basket. Tried to rush it. Lucky it made its way home.
And Ian with the only par there, unfortunately. Ray and Drew move up to be tied with Ian for second now because of that. You've still got a solid lead going. Hole 12, 305 feet, pretty straight uphill shot.
Still got to put a little move on it. That uphill makes it play about 350. I go with the MVP motion. Holds a good Hyzer line. I like to throw hard. Play it on the right-hand side and just let it fall left at the end.
Ooh, and that ran it a little
Came
bit.
close.
That looked good.
Noxon's also got some power. He likes to throw hard.
Looked like he didn't quite
A
pop
little
that
left
one.
on that one.
Yeah. Just didn't quite get the release he was looking for.
Ray's got all the shots. He's got that old school Hyzer flip line.
Yep. Great
He
looking
keeps that
form.
one close.
put it right under the basket.
Drew, one of the more powerful players on the tour, always down to rip a shot towards the basket.
Just throws something really overstable out right and lets it Hyzer the whole way up there.
That's the game plan when you can throw with power. Trust those stable discs. I've really been impressed with Ian's game when I've played with him. I had no idea he had so many skills. Never really heard about him just moving to the area, and now we've been hanging out and playing some golf together, and hopefully we could feed off each other's competitive energy and help push him to the next level, and he can help push me as well.
Yeah, he's a solid, well-rounded player. He's got a great sidearm, great backhand. Unfortunately, that putt just...
He usually makes those.
Yeah, just kissed off the top of the chains. Another solid putt from Drew.
Drew makes one from about 27 feet, I'd say.
Just drills it in there. You putting downhill.
I like to go nose down on those downhill putts and make sure they're going towards the bottom of the basket.
That's a good thing to do.
You don't want to get a spit out.
Spit out, or it's way too easy to just hit the top of the basket on those downhill
I've been playing
putts.
for a long time. I think a lot of the spit outs, sometimes you could put them on different angles and they might not have spit out. So it's definitely some speed control involved on those longer putts and shorter as well.
And Ray and Drew with the 2 birdies there. They're in second now. Nikko's still 3 strokes ahead. Hole 13, 440 feet in the deep end. Was a good one for a roller.
I go with a Legacy Mongoose. Just let it keep turning to the right.
Came close to that little shed right there. Kept curling right, and you're in the
It's
circle.
very close. It's a game of inches. Ray sporting the bright orange Team Air Force.
And he makes it to the right of that tree, standing his roller up early, and curls up there, and he's in the circle
All
as
the
well.
way to the basket. Drew, he's coming in there with power. It's torque and snap. You can hear it come out of his hand. I think Drew likes holes like this, that he can just go full power with any disc in his bag.
That rolled under the basket, came close to hitting the pole, it looked like. And he's also in the circle. And Josh doesn't quite get enough on it. It also hits on the slope there that was facing to the left, which made it kind of just stand
Josh
up
was
and-
just a little off his game that day. I've seen him throw a lot of good shots on other courses. Just missing the tree.
Jumps over the roots on the
Jumps
left.
towards the basket anyway.
A lot of beautiful drives on that one. And Josh sawed off that upshot a little bit, but he's got a putt from there. That's a good
Gets
par
his 3.
save.
It's a good par save. Agree. Up and in,
Yep.
just enough. Good looking putt. Right in there. Focus on the background noise.
And they're all 4 of you just spiraled in around the basket, all inside the circle.
CTP by Drew Gibson.
And that's impressive to see 4 out of 5 birdies on a hole like this, for sure.
That one should make the highlight reel.
It's a long way out there. Hole 14, played from the short tee as always, is 240 feet to the A pin.
It's a straight shot. Try to go with the putter as many times as I can. It's truly consistent. Never really gets offline. That one had speed control.
It did not get offline. You are right there.
As you can see, a little breeze coming in.
Oh, just hit a tiny little branch up there. And that one was looking good till it hit that branch too. It was on a good line.
That was definitely on an ace line.
And you can see the only danger off the tee pad on this hole is that light pole right there. If you yank it right a little bit, you can hit that and kick into the water. And Ian let that slip out a little early, it looked like, and it just kind of hyzered out left.
Down the line.
Looks like Noxon put that one on the line that you're looking for.
Yeah, that was a good shot. He's out there by the basket.
Ray from about 80. Just a layup.
It's a lot of stuff between him and the basket there. It would have probably been high risk to try to run that.
I think he was just making sure he didn't bogey.
Yep.
Ian ends up on the pro side.
Yep. And gave his birdie a chance, and he's there for a 3. And Josh just off the top of the basket too. He was just about 30 feet deep there. Here you are, sun in your face. Didn't phase you.
Feeling like I'm starting to put a round together at this point.
And everyone else here is
Everyone
just
just taps in the par.
yeah, just tapping in pars. You got the only birdie on that hole.
And give all those guys another shot. They would have ended up a lot closer.
Just getting a more comfortable lead. Still a tight race for second. And the long tee on hole 15 to the B pin, 260 feet.
I was never really thinking about winning the tournament or how anyone was doing. I just wanted to hit a good line at this event. And I was learning some new discs and just my kind of shot here. Power Hyzer over the top. Came really close to going
Boom,
in.
just right behind it.
Luckily, it missed all the trees.
And you do see players on this hole occasionally taking the right at it line, but of course, this card, they're all going to just go up and over.
Yeah, if you got the power, I'd say the Hyzer's open enough. You got to miss a couple trees at the end, but there's somewhat of a line. Just hear the snap and
Yeah.
torque.
Drew's snap is loud. And you barely saw that flash on the
Outdrove
left.
the hole.
No, I think he's short left. I think we saw it come down on the left of the screen there.
He had the power to outdrive it. Hit some
Oh.
trees on the way in.
Probably. He definitely has the power.
Gotta wear those pants every day for next year. Wow. I have to wear them until I turn into shorts.
Oh God! Look, they're starting to look. Only a little bit longer. Only a little bit longer.
And Josh's upshot from about 80 or 90 feet here.
That looked good.
Off the side of the cage.
He wanted that one.
Ian.
The back side of the basket. Straight on line, just a little bit low.
And Ray's right back where Ian was. And that
hit
is
it
a
on the money.
solid putt through all those little trees. You can see him dodging through them there to get his
Yeah, you
disc.
could tell he had to navigate his way on home.
And there's another example of the park. You could hear somebody on the path yelled "whoa" right as Drew was putting, and it might have razzed him a little bit there. And there you are, just parked.
Continuing to make birdies. A little Fly Life advertising on that one.
Yep. And Ray, with that birdie, moves up into second place over Drew. This is a short shot, but it's an interesting shot. You can take a number of different approaches to get to this one.
Parked this one in the long to start off the tournament and then missed a short putt.
Yeah, the long pins on this are tough. And your low Hyzer line through there, I liked that. It's an interesting approach to this one.
Just gave myself a look on the green.
Yeah, that gentle S-curve line through that gap that Ray hit is the line I'm used to seeing on this hole. And he got up there, he just clipped something at the end, but he's still in the circle.
So you got three options here. Take that high Hyzer. You take a low Hyzer flip. Or if you're really feeling it, you could take a low skip shot at it.
And there's the sidearm approach, too, that we're going to see from Ian here.
Grass Valley
And
right there.
It was already on a good
No
line.
love.
He got some tree love, too.
He must be playing with Bell.
And Josh goes for a similar line that you went for. The
little
Hyzer
closer.
line, yep.
A little more authority on that one.
And here you are for birdie.
Don't worry, I'm behind my mini.
Yep. And you saw Drew hit that tree on his drive. He threw his upshot without me noticing. I didn't get it. So here he is for par.
Quick draw McGraw. Not taking any more time.
Yep.
Not messing around. Mr. Neon taps in an easy birdie.
Josh from up on the hill. Easy
Birdie.
birdie as well. And there's Ian after some tree love.
That's what you want, Ian. Moving on to the next hole. $21 under, 17, 15, 15, 11.
This is one of the more fun shots at Auburn. I really like this shot. 285.
feet.
And it's a nice, just gentle anhyzer with a dangerous area around the basket. Drops off to the right.
I remember I felt like I really put this one on a good line. Drifts towards the basket.
And
Kicks a little right
got
at the end.
a little kick towards that
A little
slope.
too much over the hill.
And you never know what happens once it goes over that edge. It can slide or roll or whatever all the way to the bottom. And Ray put that on a beautiful
Ray
line.
parks it.
Great drive.
Grass Valley golf.
And Ian, not the first time to be one of the few people throwing a sidearm when most players are choosing a backhand. Gets a big skip. Over the basket, might be down the hill a little ways.
So I'd be a little nervous about throwing a sidearm with that hill on the right, but some people can throw it a little better than I can.
And that was some tree love for Josh right there.
I think he was running the ace.
Running the ace, but skipping down the hill if he didn't hit that tree.
Now, he doesn't care at this point. He was looking for the ace pot.
Sure. And Drew leaves it a little left, but should have an open look. And here you are from the bottom of the hill.
I think I could have had a little more focus and made that putt. I just was making sure I got over the rim. I didn't want to hit the rim and roll down a couple times and lose the tournament. I want to make sure I at least hit some chains.
And your focus was in the right place. And with that miss, actually, that ended your birdie streak. You had 10 in a row.
That's unfortunate.
That would have been for
I think
11.
I could have got 12 if I would have just taken a little more time, committed to that line right in the middle, right in the orange tape.
10 is still a good streak, though. Better than 9. You got 2 digits.
better.
You got 2 digits, though. And Drew cans a nice putt. Not that far away, but very death putty with that hill right behind where he was putting from. Oh, Josh might have not taken enough time on that one. And Ray is parked for a 2. And Josh taps in his 3. And you can really see how deathy it is down there to the right of the basket.
As you can tell, it's a fun technical course. Let you throw a putter, fairway driver, a couple long shots even.
The last hole, hole 18, in the A-pin, 280 feet, there's a Mando. You can see the sign by the tree there on the right. You have to throw to the left of that tree, up the gut.
We're making it official.
Everybody's shown some good sportsmanship, as always. And Ray's up first. Right up the middle. Didn't go too far left. Didn't get much of a skip because of that slope.
Ray's on the green. Ian with his favorite disc again, drone, right down the center. Skips over the path. A little closer than Ray.
Oh, and Drew just hits the last tree before the basket. Stops short.
Go with a low fairway driver here.
And that was
Catches
just
a friendly skip.
friendly skip on the path, but you hit the line. That's how you want to play this hole. You slid right up to it.
Nice day for filming.
And Josh
Ooh,
hit a great line
Josh.
too. That was just,
Not catching the right kicks today.
yeah, tiny little lip on the path kicked him left. And I'm not sure what happened there.
He's a good sportsman though. Didn't let it get to him.
Oh, and Ray low on the birdie putt. Didn't expect to see that. He's been putting solid all around.
Ian's not going to let any distractions get to him on this one. Finish it out.
Here we see everybody tapping in their pars, letting Nikko finish last.
Even though this was just a C-tier tournament, it felt good to put a couple rounds together and finish it out.
There you
First
go.
place.
First place by 4 strokes with a great birdie run in there.
It's a fun course. I was just trying to enjoy it.
Yeah, the Auburn course, really, I gotta say, it's very fun to play. The shots are great, the holes are well designed. And here we see the final scores. With that birdie, actually, Ian moved up into 3rd place. He was tied for 3rd with Drew until that last hole. And Nikko wins it by 4. Here you see the PDGA results. You can check out the round ratings. That round Nikko shot there was a 10.52.
It's my first sanctioned event of 2015.
Well, there you have it. That was a fun round to watch. As you saw, Nikko started off with that unfortunate bogey on hole 1, but picked it back up and finished on an incredible back 9, shooting 10 birdies in a row near the end to win it by 4 strokes, I believe. What were some of the highlights from the round for you, Nikko?
One thing that sticks out to me is 4 out of 5 of us on the lead card birdied hole 13 with a long roller. I thought that was pretty impressive.
That
On
was
film. It was a long uphill roller, and we all threw almost perfect shots and got it up there and made some putts.
absolutely 4 out of 5 of you in the
That
circle
was
on that
exciting.
hole, just a ring around the basket, and you all made your putts. That was cool to watch. I think that hole's 440 feet.
That was one of the highlights. I remember making a few clutch putts that I thought I needed to make to keep the lead, and I think that's what it takes sometimes, is to make those couple pressure putts at certain times, momentum builders during the round. You know, if you really want to win, you don't really want the guy to get up on you by a stroke or two, so you have to stay in front by just that little bit. It keeps you going.
Absolutely, and your 10 birdie streak started actually with a putt like that. I remember on hole 8 through the V in those 2 trees, and you hit that, and that was the first putt that started your 10 birdie streak right there, a clutch putt, like you said. I think that brought you into the lead by a stroke going into hole 9, and you just took off from there.
Yeah, it was a fun day of disc golf. I'm glad that the TD let me in the tournament at the last second. I was just going out there to caddy for Jessica Weiss at the time, and that was really special to just get that first win out of the way for 2015.
Yeah.
Even though it was a C tier, all the events I take them seriously, and it really felt good to have a good performance at the first event.
You put on a great show out there, and we saw some great shots from the other players as well. And in fact, now we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from the round from all 5 of the players. So first up, Nikko's putt from
Hole number
Circle's
2.
Edge.
After missing a shorty on 1, I knew I had to connect on hole number 2. Finds the right amount of chains. Back to even. Wouldn't like to have been 2 under.
And Josh
Noxon.
driving on hole 3.
It's a good aggressive line right at the basket. He felt good about that one.
Nice and low, he slid it right up there. Parked for a 2. Ray Johnson driving on hole 6.
Smooth putter shot down the middle.
Skip, a kick off the tree, and it almost looked like it went in there.
That would have been a great ace to catch on.
Yeah. Drew putting on hole
Drew
6.
drilling one from the Circle's Edge. He made the highlight reel.
No doubt. No doubt in that putt. He knew he was committing to
Say
it.
Drew Gibson's got a bright future ahead in the disc golf world.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you got to learn what not to do in some of these smaller tournaments. Make up for it in the big ones.
Josh throws a nice spike Hyzer on hole 7. Comes down right by the basket.
Park job.
And Nikko's putt on hole 8 through the V.
About a 28-footer. Trying to stroke it. In a good way.
In a good way. The way that starts a 10-hole birdie streak. And Ian putting on hole 9. Watch the branches right in front of him. You can see he clips something, but with that
It was
spin
in
putt,
regardless.
with that
Little
spin
tree
putt,
love.
yeah, not going to make a difference.
Tell that course is Ian's friend. He's been out there a lot.
Josh, after going left on his drive on hole 10,
Noxon lines it up and finds the chains.
great birdie from Josh.
It's long stride into the basket, looking over his shoulder like, what?
Drew on hole 11 after leaving his drive a little short.
Drew really pops this one in there. A good high release. Good birdie. Picked up putter all aggressively. Give me that birdie. I know that feeling. I know a lot of others do as well.
Yep.
Why was I so far away? Give me that birdie. Power shot with the MVP motion. I really do like that disc.
And this is a great ace round
It's
right
just
here.
the perfect distance for me. 350 feet. Allows me to get aggressive, commit to the Hyzer, tap in the birdie. Ray Money in the orange on orange. Bounce, bounce, cut roll hard right under the basket.
4 of you threw great drives on this, but instead of watching 4 drives on the same hole, I picked Ray's. It looked pretty good, but you were all there in the circle. And your drive on 14, straight putter shot.
I love this shot, just staying slow and smooth and accurate on these shorter tunnel shots. Feels good to be confident inside 300 feet.
And you hit the line right there. B-line right at it. Your spike Hyzer on 15.
Power Hyzer just to commit and blast away.
And right under it. Ray, after going deep on the same hole, 15, big birdie putt.
This is one of the best putts of the round. Through the gap, right on the
Long
money.
putt with a lot of stuff in the way.
Money, long striding. He's jogging it out.
Dodging the branches on his way to the basket.
Feeling like the man. Give me that birdie. Ian Owen. Eyeballing. Commitment. Down the center. And kick to the pin. Drop in.
Wow. It was on a decent enough line. It would have just been a tiny bit deep if he hadn't hit that thing anyway.
If you'd have caught him on camera, I'm sure he smirked after that one. Ray, drawing back. Good line, good angle. Park job.
Ian from down in the ditch.
Ian really commits on his putts and he connects more often than not. See that aggressive line.
And Drew, a little bit of a death putt on 17. Probably only about 18 or 20 feet out. But commits, solid putt.
Drew practices a lot up at his course in Orangevale. He's always on the putting green. I see him out there. Inside the circle, it's easy for Drew.
And hole 18.
Hole 18 feels good to finish it out. 2015, first event in the books. First place victory.
It's a great round.
Tap in with the wizard. Feels good. Appreciate everybody's support. Thanks for coming out.
Great finish. And now we'll take a look at the award ceremony.
Time for 7th place in Open is Brandon Sy and Jason Johnson. What was it?
Both getting this.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was 15.
Look what I do. Great.
Thanks, man. 6th place?
6th place is John Noxon. Josh Noxon.
6th place in Open, Josh Noxon.
Let me turn on my flashlight.
5th place, Chains on me, bro. There is no fourth. Okay, 4th place is Drew Gibson. He's out. Yay. 3rd place, Ian Owen. Second place, Ray Johnson. Yeah, buddy. Good game.
Beautiful shirt, dude.
And first place,
I actually mean it.
in on the waiting list, Nikko Locastro. The Chain Zombies for putting on this tournament and letting me in at the last second. I really appreciate that. I'm running a tournament on February 15th. I hope some of you might be able to make it out. It's going to be a pretty good event. Got a good players pack.
Where?
I like it out here. It's out at Lava Creek. Lava Creek by Chico Paradise. Yeah, if you can make it out, it's kind of in between a couple events, but hope to see some faces out there. And thank you guys again. I'd like to come back and play this event one more time. So had some good competition. Thank you guys. Ryan, if you need a bottle opener.
All right.
2 minis in a bottle opener.
Hey, Nikko.
In a bag. Oh, I'm getting it.